I torpedoed a dude's entire career because he was a bully. My mom is crazy successful in this super specific business field. Like, she's known by everyone who matters, which meant I grew up pretty comfortable and got a good education. When I graduated college, I decided to go into the same field as her. But here's the thing, I didn't want everyone treating me different just because of who my mom is. So I used my dad's last name at work instead of hers, and I never tell anyone who she is. I also didn't go work for her company because that felt like cheating. I got hired at this other company for a trial period. In my field, trial periods are normal. After a few months, either side can walk away with no hard feelings. Everything started out pretty good. I worked really hard, always showed up early, stayed late. My boss even called me a workhorse because I was getting so much done. Most of my coworkers were great. We'd grab lunch together, help each other out with projects, normal office stuff. Except for this one guy. Let's call him Derek. Derek was the worst person I've ever worked with, and I'm usually the type who gets along with everyone. I try to be friendly and make things work, but Derek had it out for me from day one. Anytime someone got praised for their work, Derek would jump in and tear them down. Like one time, our manager complimented someone's presentation, and Derek literally interrupted to say, "Yeah, I did something way better than that last month. This is pretty basic stuff." If anyone mentioned struggling with something, Derek would go, "Oh, that? I finished that project in like 2 hours. Super easy." When people talked about future plans with me, Derek would always butt in with, "Yeah, we'll see if you even make it that long." I later found out he was also talking trash about how I looked and saying I wasn't man enough for this job. At least he had the decency to say that behind my back, I guess. But Derek was especially nasty to the women in our office. He'd make comments about how moms shouldn't be working in our field, that they should be home with their kids instead. Really messed up stuff. Management knew about it but didn't care because Derek was good at his actual job and they liked that he was ambitious. My trial period ended and they offered me a permanent position, but I turned it down. I didn't want to be anyone's workhorse, and I definitely didn't want to spend years working near Derek. On my last day, I came to say goodbye to everyone. My coworkers were really nice about it, saying they'd miss me. Management said they were sorry to see me go. Then Derek literally yelled across the office, "Ha! Told you he wouldn't last. Good riddance. Maybe this field isn't for you." I just left. I'm not a confrontational person, and I didn't have to deal with him anymore anyway. I got a new job at a different company and I loved it. Great coworkers, good boss, got promoted pretty quick. I basically forgot Derek existed. Then something weird started happening. We kept getting applications from people at Derek's company. My boss knew I used to work there, so he'd ask me about these applicants. Did I know them? What were they like? I usually had good things to say because most people from there were solid workers. Then one day my boss shows me a new application. It's from Derek. He asks what I think. I told him, "Look, I have personal feelings about this person. I can't be objective." My boss knows I'm positive about pretty much everyone, so he's like, "What happened?" I told him everything. Every nasty comment, every time Derek tore someone down, all the stuff he said about women not belonging in the field. Derek didn't get the job, obviously. A few days later, I'm at family dinner and my mom goes, "Hey, you worked at that company, right? Do you know Derek?" She'd gotten his application too. My mom already knew there was someone at my old job who made my life miserable. I told her it was Derek. She immediately decided not to hire him, especially after hearing about his comments about women. Then we hired someone who used to work at Derek's company. She told me what happened over there. Turns out, Derek got promoted, which made a bunch of people want to quit. Management started investigating why so many good employees were leaving right after their trial periods ended. Everyone said the same thing. It was Derek. Management tried talking to him about it. From what I heard, Derek did not take criticism well at all. They fired him. That's when he'd applied to my company and my mom's company. Now Derek doesn't work in our field anymore. And in our industry, there's only like a handful of companies total. He's basically blacklisted from the only career he ever had.